everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoy my previous videos. I've been having so much fun working on them, and this one is very special. So by the time I post this video, it's gonna be my 25th birthday. So you know, I was sitting there, okay, 25 is like a big deal. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, 25, like it's a quarter of your life and everything. So I was just like, what if I make a video about everything I've learned in the past 24 years of my life? It's not 25 things I learned before I turned 25, but it's a lot, and I think a lot of people are gonna relate to it just because it's more you as an individual and then how other people see you. And I would love to hear what you learned before you turn, I don't know, 21, because I think that's a big milestone for me. 25 is a big milestone. I don't even think, like, until this year, that's when I was like, shit, like, I'm old. A bitch is old. So, but I don't feel old. So yeah, so let's get started. So and I have everything on my phone, so if you see me looking down, it's because I wrote it down. If not, this video is gonna be like an hour long. But the first one that I have is setting boundaries, and this one is mainly family related. So I have, family shouldn't be your #1 priority. Your well-being should be. You know, coming from a Dominican family, you know, it's a lot of collective thinking, so you don't only have to focus on yourself. Like, you kind of don't have the free time to kind of focus on yourself. You kind of have to push your well-being to deal with everything that your family is going through, or if they need your help. And I think that also affects everyone. Like, if you're related to this, like, let me know, because I feel like, you know, my family's problems are my problem, and I kind of have to kind of suck it up for my own shit because I had to deal with everyone else's. And I think not only this year, but like previous years, I kind of learned setting boundaries. Like, okay, I can help you, you know, deal with everything that you're dealing with, or like I can, you know, give you a hand, but at the same time, like, if I don't see that's gonna benefit me in any way, or it's just like bringing more stuff to what's already on my plate, I'm just not gonna take it. Second one is, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And that one was a big one because now, you know, I graduated college 3 years ago from my bachelor's, 2 years ago from my master's. And I see some of my friends, like, some of them are having babies, some of them are getting married or got married, some of them are buying houses. And like, if you think back, like, oh well, all my friends are doing like huge things, and then I'm here like stuck in the same place, or I'm here stuck in the same town, or I'm living with my parents. Like, you kind of feel set back. You're not at the same level as your friends. But to be honest, if you think about it, I don't think I have the mindset to have a baby right now. Like, I feel like I'm a child still, you know. I don't think I don't see myself settling right now, so I don't want to be married at 25, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you see your friends doing things, but that's their path. Like, you shouldn't be focusing on what other people are doing. Like, it's kind of related to the first one. It's take care of your mental health. And I never understood, like, you know, again, kind of coming back to, you know, being Dominican, or like even if you're in a Latin community, or like part of the Latin family, mental health is not a thing. Like, you kind of have to deal with it yourself, and you kind of have to get over it. And I never understood until it kind of took over my physical health. So I remember, like, my sophomore year in college, I was so sick. Oh my god, I was sick all the time. I was throwing up all the time. I remember going to the nursing office like all the time. I ended up going to the hospital too to see my doctor. They did all different tests, couldn't find anything. Then my friend, my roommate at the time, told me, she was like, you know, I think you were kind of dealing with anxiety. Didn't know what that was, because, you know, people now use anxiety as like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I'm feeling anxious, like I have anxiety, but it's not like, you don't, and I don't want to judge anyone, but I don't think it's affecting them in the way, I think they're just using the word so lightly now instead of what it's supposed to mean, and like the burden that word brings. So I was like, well, shit, yeah, I'm dealing with anxiety. And it was really, really bad. I remember, oh my gosh, it used to make me so sick. I couldn't even like do anything. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I was constantly throwing up. And I was like, okay, like I need to breathe. So like stress on top of anxiety, it was just like a bad mixture in college. And I ended up, you know, getting help, and he helped me out. Take care of yourself. Even if you have to take a mental health at work, work, when you die, work is gonna, they're gonna replace you anyway. So you should focus on yourself. Like you're your main priority. Don't focus about anyone else. It's not about being selfish. Again, it's just setting boundaries and making sure that you're doing okay before you make sure everybody else is okay. So the next one, which I think everybody learned in quarantine, is a good friendship doesn't mean that you have to constantly talk or see each other. And I think that was mostly after I graduated college. You know, in college you live with your friends, you're constantly surrounded by your friends, so you don't have to, you know, be texting them or calling them all the time because you're surrounded by them. After you graduate, you kind of learn that everybody's doing their own thing. And at first I kind of felt the pressure, like, oh shoot, like I have to, you know, text my friend, like see how they're doing. Like I felt like such a shitty friend, especially because I moved out of the state, so I wasn't one farthest away, but I wasn't the one reaching out. Then I remember one of my friends called me and we were talking, and I was like, oh, like I feel so bad that I never reached out. She's like, honestly, I was feeling the same way. Like I don't have to talk to you all the time to know that you're my friend. Oh, I know they're doing good. Like whenever I see something, like, oh, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy to see that you're doing good. Like things like that are more meaningful than stupid, meaningless conversations just because you want to be a good friend. Like my best friend, she lives in Massachusetts. Shout out to Megan, she's a real one. We don't talk every day, hell no. Text all the time, like from here and there. She will tag me on something on Instagram, you know, but that way we kind of keep tabs on each other, and whenever something big happens, like we make sure that we're each other, like we're the first people to know. So I think that's more meaningful than, like, you know, calling them all the time. Maybe make it meaningful, you know, make it meaningful. And I think those are the greatest. I feel like once you get together, it means so much more than it was before. So okay, so going down that list, now we have it's okay to want to be alone. And I think that one, it's like as like in the relationship aspect and like as an individual. So for example, there's some people that like to be surrounded by friends all the time, and I think I got so used to that at some point, but now I'm more comfortable on like doing things on my own. So for example, I don't feel like I have to have a friend to like go to the park, or you know, I can be by myself like all weekend long. Like I'm okay with that. And I think in the relationship aspect, it's like I'm okay being single. Like it's, you know, I think in your 20s you should focus more about, you know, kind of getting to know yourself a little bit more, instead of just like focusing on like dating people that still don't know who they are. Because that's the thing, nobody knows what, who the fuck knows what they're doing. Not me, and not everyone that I know. They have no clue on what they're doing right now. So I feel like you shouldn't focus on like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna find my future husband. Like my sisters, both all my older sisters met their husbands like at the end of their 20s, got married on their 30s. Like it's fine, it's okay, there's no rush. Like I feel like, you know, sometimes our parents will put like pressure on us, like, oh yeah, like, you know, noviecito, like no, there's nobody. Like, and it's okay when there's nobody. Like I'm having fun, I'm actually having a lot of fun. And I think next year and the next 25 years, you know, I'm okay not having a plan. Something that I heard on a podcast, the lady mentioned how someone asked her, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years, or where do you see yourself in 10 years? And her answer, which is like something that I want to start using, she said, happy. I just want to be happy. In the next 10 to 5 years, I just want to be happy. In the next 25 years, I just want to be happy. And I don't think having someone or being with someone is finding my happiness. Like I have to be happy with myself before I make someone else happy or find, you know, that other person. So yeah, it's okay to be alone. That's all I have to say. The next one, my siblings are my best friends. And if you know me, you're probably, I mean, you've seen all my videos. Like, you probably saw seen like half of my siblings already. My brother and my little sister, they're always on my videos because we're constantly together. We're the 3 single ones. We're the 3 ones that are like closest to our parents. I don't see them only as my siblings. I see them as my friend. Like, whenever something good happens to me, they're the first ones to know. Whenever something bad happens to me, they're also the first ones to know. So yeah, my siblings are my best friends and I love them so much. Making out with a stranger is always a good idea. I don't have to explain that one. I think that one's very clear. Be your own advocate. And I think that one was the hardest for me. Just because I didn't want to see like I was asking for help or bothering people, and I think that's like a huge difference. But I kind of wanted to do things on my own and kind of prove to myself, oh yeah, I'm strong and I can do this. But then sometimes I didn't want to seem like I'm asking for something. But
just fuck that.
Because if you don't advocate for yourself, nobody's gonna do it. Nobody sees exactly what you're going through, or nobody sees how much work you put into a project. So you have to give yourself some credit, and it's okay to advocate for yourself. Like, stand up for yourself. You know, ask the questions. You know what I'm talking about. Ask the questions. Ask for what you deserve, and it's fine. It doesn't mean that you're arrogant or you're asking for too much. No, you're asking for exactly what you deserve. So this one, stop looking for love in places you know you won't find it. And I mean, you never know. I was gonna say I'm not gonna find love in a bar. Don't think I will. I don't know if I'm gonna find love in Tinder. True. But I'm talking about people. Like, sometimes we kind of fall in love with the idea of someone that you can't see past that. So you're like, oh yeah, I can change that person. Yeah, I can change their ways. Like, no, nothing's wrong with that person. And then you kind of have the outside perspective, or your friends or your family that get introduced to that person, and they're like, I don't think that person is gonna change. I don't think, you know, yeah, no. Because the thing is, like, when you're in a relationship or you're seeing someone, you're not supposed to, you have to accept that person as it is. Like, you can't try to change the way they are. And if you see red flags at the beginning, girl, what are you doing? I'm talking to you, Nicole. What are you doing? It's a more realistic part of me. Like, I love love, don't get me wrong, I love love, but I feel like sometimes, like, I just get so in my head and like daydreaming about like what ifs and like what it could be, that I kind of get ahead of myself and I don't get to see exactly who the person is until it's too late. And then it's and the last one, and the reason why I'm here, is follow your passion projects. And for me, for the longest time, I always wanted to have a YouTube channel. I always wanted to do this for myself, you know, being able to share, you know, my experience with others. And like, I love watching those type of videos, like seeing what other people are doing. I know it's weird. It's like people watching, but on YouTube. And I always felt like, oh, well, nobody's gonna watch these videos. And no, first of all, I don't feel comfortable being in front of a camera. But honestly, fuck that. Like, I don't know, I just want to do what makes me happy at the moment. And even if nobody watches this video, that's okay, because, you know, I did it and I did it for myself, and that's what I'm passionate about, and that's all you should care about. So if you want to have a podcast, have a podcast. If you want to write a blog, write a blog. If you want to be an influencer, be an influencer. If you want to be a photographer, just do it. There's always gonna be someone there to like watch your content or enjoy your content. And even if it's not, you know, a millions of people, it's gonna be thousands or hundreds, and you know, at least someone else is watching and someone else is listening to what you have to say. And I think that's more important than, you know, being famous and things like that. It's like, let me know what you think, if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, if you have any advice for me. You know, I'm turning 25 today, so I want to hear from you. What advice will you give me for the next, you know, 25 years, 50 years? Maybe I should do this again when I turn 30. What do you think? I feel like I should do this in 10 years. No, in 5 years. Holy shit, I'm gonna be 30 in 5 years, okay? Whew. Okay, so in 5 years maybe I'll revisit this. Oh god, I'm gonna be 35 years. Wow. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below whatever advice you have for me. If you want to say happy birthday, also comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. And if you want to hit that bell button, do that, because I have so much content to put out. I have so many videos that I filmed that I'm gonna put out in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, like I'm really excited to be here and share my life with you and whatever I have to put out there. So yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.